Hello. Hi. Welcome back. We are continuing where we left off last Friday, and we're doing the blue line route, hence the background being nice and blue for us. And we're gonna see what's up with the students, meet and greet some more of them, and learn more about them as we train them up for our time at the Officers Academy here. Our professor's name is Squelch from last screen, if anyone remembers that. Squelch is a great name, and it's one we're keeping, because there's no changing it now. Okay, and we also got access to certifications last time, and we'll see who's ready to actually be promoted and get some stat boosts and be categorized into the field that they're going to start their paths in. So first we're going to start with Dimitri, because he got a bullseye for lances, and he'll make an excellent soldier class to start off with.
Good results.
Yay! Hey, Homeomorphic, good to see you. Yes, I would like to change classes. I want him to be a soldier now. And we'll scroll down, and Constance and Happy are ready as well. So, Constance excels in magic. Something happened with Nightbot, as usual. Apologies. Hooray! So yeah, we'll make you a mage. And you pass.
I passed! As I knew I would, of course.
And Happy, who is also better suited as a mage. Right on. Again, it's confirmed if they have the bullseye that they'll pass, but, like...
Easy peasy.
Still good to make sure that they are leveled up and ready to go. Because I don't want anyone dying on me permanently here. So basically, since I've certified these three, I need to make sure I take everybody else in the battle, level them up to level 5, and then go from there. And I need to make sure that I'm not missing out on battles, and need to do as many as possible to make sure I'm leveled throughout this game. Otherwise, I could be easily locked out of continuing onward. So battle in the Brionic Plateau, the Empire, or the Lake Tutades. Bandits, bandits, bandits. Level 4, 6, or 9. I think we should go for 6 just to make sure we get decent levels.
Thanks a million.
And after we battle some more, we will
Thank you so much.
take a little break from battles and check in with the students, see what they think of their new professor. Okay. First off, let's get everyone who's not level 5 or higher, so that means me, Dudu, Yuri, Mercedes, Felix, Annette, Ingrid, Ash, and Sylvain. Practically everyone. Double check their abilities. If they're assigned battalions or not. Which will affect stats. So someone who's weak should probably be given the only access to the battalions that I have right now. You see the stat boost down there. Physical attack, avoidance, and critical hit. Definitely good for archers, so I'll give this to Ash. Who's also bad at avoiding things to do is... No avoidance. Oh. That's the only avoidance one. That's lack of magic. Which he has no real magic ability anyway, so that won't affect him. Increase hit. That's good for him. Because his accuracy is poor. So I'll give him the Saros Mercenaries. And because we're not taking Dimitri this time, I should give his battalion to someone as well. And I think I would give it to Annette because she's generally weak at the beginning of the game as well. And hit point, protection, resilience, yeah, it's like a 1-stat boost in a lot of things here, so that's what we'll do. Okay, to the map. We got a layout of where everyone starts. Nah, it's not unlimited. It's annoying power, and I'm not gonna correct it. But it's there, and it amuses me, so... It's based on their supports and what their abilities are. Sylvain should be next to the females. Just in general. So, put you over here. Ingrid supports well with Dedu and Ash. Ooh, actually, Yuri supports with Ingrid, so I'll put both of my archers over here with Ingrid. And my swordsmith and my axe wielder. You'll be defense, you'll be attack. So let's go. And since this isn't mock battles anymore, if I lose anybody,
I'm on it.
I will regret it. Because they won't be usable again.
Here goes.
I owe you one.
Use Annette's ability Rally to boost my attack.
Here we go.
Keep Mercedes within range.
Stay focused.
And bring the professor over here to boost everyone's abilities.
What should I do?
Have to do shield and have Felix come up behind him. And we'll put Ingrid out in front. And Ash and Yuri by her side.
Sure thing.
See how that works out. Good dodge. That's a great start for Ingrid. Oh, that's not good, actually. You have a broken lance. Do you have anything else? You don't. Ooh. Training bow, iron bow. You're almost leveled, so you should hit the guy in the back. But you can't, because you don't have abilities yet. Okay. Avoid speed is 0. What if you're standing in the grass? No, it's still bad. Okay, go over here and hang out. I should have made sure that my weapons were in check before I went into this battle. Might cost me if someone gets to Ingrid, so now she's like a person I gotta watch more now. So I can either boost Sylvain for attack or use a net over him with magic, which is the better bet, I think. Saw blades. Wind saw blades. Combat arts, what can you do? Okay, no need for that. Can you hit anyone? No. Okay, well. First this.
What's next?
What's there?
Whoops. Oh well.
Well, that is a slight boost, but at least it was a speed stat, because that's a very, very important one for avoiding and hitting stuff, so. Almost level 5. You don't have a bow, so you can't attack yet, but Dedu can hit him.
Had to be done.
Good. Now you got your level 5, so you'll stay in the background now.
I suppose I've improved.
Felix, go up ahead. Oh! There's 4 people targeting him. That may have been a mistake. Oh god. I can't make mistakes this bad this early. Eesh.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
Excellent. Oh, good level.
Another step forward.
Don't kill him. Ugh. Okay, Felix, you need help now. Uh-oh. I left my archers undefended as well. Oh my god! No! Ash!
Maybe I'm not cut out for this.
I'm a big fool! Too worried about Ingrid, I forgot about Ash. My god. Okay, you hide in the grass. Kill him. I'm so sad. He's the best
Who's
archer.
next?
I didn't think I'd be losing characters until chapter 5 at least. Okay, you wind. I'm not using them. I'm like refusing to use them and see how far I'll get. If I lose too miserably, have to do something else. You know what? You go back here.
Much more.
Yeah, thanks. I am definitely gonna need it. Okay, Sylvain over here. You feel like rewind is fair here because you forgot weapons? Well, I have 5 viewers right now, so if anyone would like to weigh in with absence, comment there. If I should use a rewind to save Ash or not, I will go on the majority rules. But in the meantime, I will send Sylvain over here to wreck shop.
That went as expected.
And you should heal the professor.
Thank you.
Okay, do it. We got 1 for rewind, 2 for rewind, so 2 of 5 right now. It's fine by me. That's 3 of 5. Okay, we're rewinding to pick up Ash and try to pace this out a little better. Okay. So first of all, Ingrid only has 1 shot of this lance, so that is a very bad thing, and I still got to get her out of the way. So I'm going to move her over here,
Here goes.
increase Sylvain's attack,
There you are.
put him at the
I'm on it.
border.
Here we go.
Put my healer behind.
Stay focused.
Professor up there to increase stats by 3. If you look over here, the professor's stats is multiplies adjacent allies' experience by 1.2. I thought it was damage. It is not. But still it increases experience, so it's good. My archers should at
Give it
least
my
be
all.
in the grass for now,
Sure thing.
or far enough back that it doesn't matter. I'll keep the
What
Dew
should I
here and put Felix there again because that worked out fine. Alright. Alrighty. Now, what do we do? Oh, right, there's this thing. Attack range. That's good to know. Combat arts, curve shot. Perfect. Perfect, Ash. Let's go. And everyone's supports raise as well. Now I have the professor here that has access to the convoy, and anyone adjacent to the professor can access it as well. So I should be able to get another lance if I had it, but I don't. I didn't buy anything. I am a silly Billy. Let's put strength boost on you.
Thank you.
Use your archer skill.
Out of my way.
Well, she can take one approach with that one piece of the iron lance there, so I'm gonna make sure she uses it because it's useful to make sure you use all of your weapons.
You're a big help.
Okay, and Sylvain, you are good right where you are. You will block at least one guy. Then the other one will be stuck behind him, so that's good. You'll go over and attack Ingrid. And you can take care of this guy here.
Sufficient.
Level 5. I need to pull Felix up, but I should put him not in harm's way. I should put him right here instead. You got me much more careful. Okay, let's see how Ingrid does. Ugh. It's pretty crummy, actually. If she didn't get hit, it would be ideal, but yeah. What do we do? What do we do? Keep Ash safe and attack for ahead of Sylvain here. Make sure Sylvain can one-shot him, then he can't get attacked.
Be gone.
Be gone! Fought.
Whoops.
Heal him.
I owe you one.
You step back. You step forward. Wrath Strike. Use durability of 3 swings to have better attack.
You fought well.
Another step forward.
And good level up. Okay. So. I'm the target if I stay there. Oh yeah, Yuri can heal. I forgot you had access to heal right away. You heal Ingrid.
You saved me.
Um, that mage is gonna try to attack Annette, but she has high resistance, so that's not as much of a worry as it would seem.
You're a big help.
Boost Sylvain. But too much 64. No, not really, because that's the one I like continuously not show up for when I schedule it, so we'll gotta go back to that eventually. Okay. Felix is the target, but only one of them can get to him. Yeah, that's true. Jet Force Gemini was a demo copy, so I couldn't even beat it. Glad I have that gold mine of, like,
I'm getting much better.
irony or whatever. And Mercedes just unlocked her range healing ability, so that's fantastic. She's going to be much more useful in the future now. Okay. Definitely can't use her right now. Go hide in the grass on this side.
You're amazing.
Yeah, I guess so.
That feels good.
Okay. Yuri, level 5. Good, good. I should sell the demo copy for sure, because that's the only purpose it really serves anymore. Because it's a collector's item, but not a usable item. Okay, you kill.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
Squelch. Ooh. You can do damage now.
Let's keep our guard up. It's just
Ugh.
not my day.
The level ups are bad right now. I'm gonna... Whoop. First off, I should get Felix some points. And then protect him because he's really squishy right now. So Dedu goes in front with his shield ability.
Am I making progress?
Rally resistance. No, that's good. That's a good thing. Ooh, you need to defend. Okay, you stay then.
Weak.
Ew. Good. Should grab some heal from that. Fortunately, they just did too. Right. Mages are Dedu's weakness, for sure. Okay. I think I need to
Proceed with
retreat.
caution.
Put Felix over here, he's more squishy.
Let's be careful.
Let's move Mercedes back so she's out of range, and heal... Who do I heal? I want to heal the do, but I don't have the range. Oh, let's heal. Let's heal Felix.
Sorry.
And those mages are still going after him. Okay, Ash. Snipe. Good. He'll avoid more now. Let's heal the do before he dies.
My thanks.
I'm gonna trade Sylvain with the professor.
Please.
You fought well. Another step forward. It seems I've exhausted this topic.
Okay. It's a good stat buff to have early game. Targeted by the mage and the archer. So how much damage do you do? Strength 10. Hit is 100. What's my defense? 5 damage. Oh, math, my true enemy. Boost the professor.
Well done.
Oh, critical hit. Nice. Good job, Annette.
Come on. Luck wasn't with you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Did you
Here we go.
currently squishy heal you up?
Useful.
I'll do my best.
Okay, let's not yet. That's an ability I have to unlock. I cannot shoot bows back until I unlock Quick Counter, which is an ability I have to assign to the character after I unlock it. So early game, it's way harder for archers. Okay, Felix, can you kill an art? You can kill mostly this guy. I'll bring. Good, you can kill someone. Do it.
That was tough.
Finally, I thought you were gonna be level 1 forever, Ash.
Is this a joke?
Oh.
Am I starting to master this?
About this. Yeah. Level up, level up. Be a good one. It's not a good one.
This stinks.
It's not a good one. Okay,
Each battle, a chance to grow.
when you move up. Oof. You stay there. Think everyone's okay still? Yes, a miss. It's so welcome early game. Uh-oh.
Nice try.
Well, at least you dodged one, girl. Okay, what we got to work with now? Feel Sylvain.
I owe you one.
Heal Felix.
Perfect.
Yes.
Next time, bring your friends.
Good, good. Felix is ready to
I
go.
have improved.
%60 chance hit and I won't die. Sounds good to me. Get a med to finish him off.
Thank goodness.
We got.
What should I do?
Let's have Dedu sit here. The professor here. Sylvain
on
up
it.
front again. Take out the raid boss.
You're out of luck.
So now he's ready to go. Thank you, Absent Reality, for the hydrate.
This is what a real man looks like.
And the stretch. Thanks very much. Thank you for the stretch. Can you do anything, Ingrid? Absolutely not. Stay out here. And definitely give Annette the last couple hits here. Because she is still low too. Let's heal.
Move carefully.
Alright. Give Ash the last hit because he's level 2 still.
I must steel myself. Is this a joke?
They're still your most important stats, Ash. At least you got them. You just got luck increase. That would be like not lucky at all. Renown increased. Some points to play with later. GG, thank you, Homeomorphic.
Why, thank you so much.
Okay, everyone's in a lot better shape. They definitely have abilities unlocked. They have better dodge rates. They can
I
hit
have
things.
gratitude.
All around a lot better than even starting that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I just had to focus on what I was doing. It's definitely much harder at the beginning of a hard mode run. So, we'll be training the students now. Teaching them to be good. Right, I don't have very high professor level yet, so I only got 3 students I can really sink my time into. So who needs training the most? Whose grades are terrible? We got C's and D's. I should pick people that have D's and no C's. So Felix, Sylvain, and Constance are the winners. So let's boost your attack magic first. You've learned... I don't know how to pronounce that. Sagitai. No, nope. Not good.
Mastery is within my grasp.
Increase your authority, which will boost the
Mastery is within my grasp.
it'll boost the battalion strength, those things I was assigning the characters before we started, that I didn't have many access to yet.
I thought that... Alright, that's enough praise. I thought this was a test. I thought this was a test.
2 times experience growth.
Hey, that was useful. I thought this was a test.
Okay. Pretty Boy's is actually pretty smart, too. You know what, I'm gonna back out to goals because there is a reason to not increase specifically Felix's authority, because he has better strength without it, +5 if he doesn't have one assigned. So he doesn't need to train authority. You'll just train swords and you'll excel at it quickly. Double experience growth into swords.
This could be useful.
Okay. Good instruction. Group tasks. I don't think you two need to be on horses. I think if anything, you should be actually flyers, so I'm going to put you guys up there instead. Or I could put Ingrid up there, because she works better as a flyer too. Lance, sword. Who else would be good in a flying situation? I guess Dedu. He's terrible at learning flying, but he's good with axes, and flying and axes go hand in hand in this game. So we'll stick Dedu and Ingrid together on Skywatch and begin the lecture.
Professor, could you explain?
I'm terrified to walk the monastery grounds at night. It's unnerving how dark and quiet the place gets. How can I conquer my fear? Sing a song. If you make noise, it won't be quiet. Think of it as training it for night marches. Or make sure you're always carrying a torch. I say carry a torch.
That might be good.
Motivation increased. They liked the answer.
Chatterbox.
You know what a Valkyrie is? They're magic wielders who ride horses. As soon as I heard that was a thing, I knew it was right up my alley, so I gotta get really good at reason and riding, okay? You know what? Okay. That sounds like a good plan, actually. You do that, Happy. Yes. Happy's goals have changed. It's Anna's birthday. Would you like to buy flowers? Anna's not in my class, so no. I need to save my money, thanks. Lawrence isn't either, so no. How dare you follow your dreams?
Let's go.
I am a little worried.
It went well.
Oh, fantastic. Got 1000 G, it went perfectly, and both of them got along better. Everybody learn. Learn by the will of the professor!
I'm really getting the hang of this.
Am I making progress? It all makes sense now.
Ah, abilities. True saving grace. Yeah, speaking of which, I should maybe buy something. Axe, swords, Lance. Definitely get a few for you. And a javelin, so you can do it from long range too. Need better bows. Iron for you. Rusted lance. You don't need anything, you're a monk. Yeah, so sword. Just pick up an extra one for everyone. The lance. You actually have plenty of axes. Let's get another sword for you. I don't know why you have a lance. Why do you have a lance? Give that to Ingrid. And if I know he had that on him, I could have actually passed it off during that map, which would have helped Ingrid actually have a good stat. She's a little behind now. Speaking of which, I can upgrade some more characters now. Myself to a Myrmidon, sword wielder.
A new path to tread.
Tutu will be a fighter for his axe wielding.
I passed.
Oh, I don't have enough seals. Can I buy some still? Yes, there's a few here. I need as many as I can. Okay, Felix, you are a sword wielder. Here is your Myrmidon outfit.
Easy.
Sylvain, you are a soldier. Nice armor.
Huh, okay. No big deal, really.
Yuri, I want you to be a bow wielder. So let's try for a 65%. I did. I did replace all my weapons first. So they all have adequate things first. Good. Should I train you in this too? You know what? Whee! Nice sticker. I'm gonna train you in to be a Myrmidon as well. Oh, Yuri, Constance, and Happy are DLC characters that came later. That would be why. But you can unlock them in the main paths as well. They are underground residents, so they're living under the monastery. Okay, that should give me a stat boost, because if I train them in things they're not good at, it'll raise their stats.
I passed, as I knew I would, of course.
And she definitely needs the defense boost, having only 3 before. And I'll do the same with Happy, actually, for the soldier.
Easy peasy.
Okay, good. Stat boost for both of them. Looks good, looks good. I haven't explored the monastery yet, and nobody is motivated to learn except for Mercedes. So I should go around and mingle a little bit here. Should also see the supports. So it looks like Mercedes and Annette have something to say to each other, so let's watch this little cutscene between them.
That shopping trip took longer than expected, didn't it, Mercy? It truly did. You bought just about everything in the place.
Oh,
You're so good at deciding the best thing to buy. I sort of wanted it all. I mean, not that I was excessive. I think you bought just about as much as I did.
Oh, really? The number of bags you're carrying says otherwise.
What? That's... Oh, fine. You got me. I was just having too much fun. I love shopping with you, Mercy.
It was fun. It's nice going into town without having to run errands for once.
Isn't it? And I'm pretty confident the professor will forgive our little detour.
You're wrong. I won't forgive
This
you.
actually reminds me of going to school in Ferdiad.
Me too. It almost feels like that time in our lives was a story from long ago.
So much has changed since then. Oh, but there's at least one thing that hasn't changed.
Me and you, right? We're the same old friends we always were.
That's just what I was about to say.
I've known you so long I can always guess.
Mercy, we'll stay friends like this forever, won't we?
Is something wrong? You sound worried.
Since our time in the capital, so much has happened. We've had to make new lives for ourselves, and we've seen at least as many hard times as good. If things keep changing like this, I wonder if we'll be able to stay the same people we are now.
I wonder that too. I don't think everything in the future will be perfect, but it's us. So I'm sure
We'll figure it out together, right?
How did you know what I was going to say?
Oh, Mercy, I can always guess what you're gonna say.
Oh, it's getting late. We better hurry back before the professor gets angry.
You're right. Run, Mercy!
What? Wait for me, Annie. You know I'm not as fast as you.
Run!
And while she just walks. Wow. So currently their personality is girl. Shop and friends forever. Hooray. Okay, so that's the only people that are talking right now, so we're gonna explore the monastery and increase the motivation points between our students. You could ask for help from a student outside your house, and that person will join for you for battles and missions until the end of the month. You can only ask one student for help each month, and that student will not earn any experience. Hello, girl inside my head.
You have spent quite some time in here engaging in such idle chatter. Do you not know that we have not a moment left to waste?
I'm so sorry, I should have listened more intently.
You must try harder from now on.
Yes, I will try harder, thank you. Goodbye. Okay, so there's a lot of speech bubbles everywhere. Let's go talk to everybody all over the monastery for the month. Luckily, it only changes when the month changes, so I only have to do this part once. Ah, there's something on the ground. Dulled longsword, a worn iron longsword that feels quite heavy. It seems like something Dimitri would own. So it's definitely his. Straight up names him. Tattered overcoat, an overcoat with many holes and tears. It probably belongs to someone who often finds himself in fights. Wooden button, a button that seems to have popped off a man's shirt. Probably belongs to someone with a large physique. That's definitely Raphael. There's no way it's not.
Impressive. Catherine, Her skill is impressive, I'll admit. So is her sword. But I think she's hiding something. Nobody knows anything about her past. You should spar with her. She's strong. Stronger than you are, I'd bet.
Well, that's Catherine, so let's introduce ourselves.
Here to train? You really are as hardworking as they say.
I'm just me.
Spoken like a true hard worker.
Alright. Hey, Edelgard.
Lord Lonato must know that his efforts are futile, yet he can't help but fight. If I were in that situation, I would do whatever it took to ensure victory. You can count on that.
Okay.
Something about this situation doesn't feel right. Why would a minor lord raise an army against a foe he cannot possibly hope to defeat?
I don't know, but Lord Lonato is doing that. That is who we're facing at the end of the month, I believe. Hello, Leonie.
I'm studying here so I can be the best there is, just like Captain Gerald. Do you think I've got it in me to be a top-tier mercenary, Professor?
Well, you want to bring money in, don't you?
I do. Though, it's about so much more than being rich. It's about honor.
You know, I'm good. I don't want to ask you right now. I want to see how my current students go before I start trying to recruit a bunch.
Goodness. I heard about your class's assignment, by the way. Good luck subduing those treasonous nobles.
Sprint! Okay, who's in here? Claude. Hey, Claude.
Hey, Teach. There's some minor noble rebelling in Fargus, right?
That's right.
He has no chance of winning. I wonder what he hopes to achieve. Huh? Are you going along to help? Sounds like an easy victory, but good luck out there.
Thanks, Claude. Good talk.
Ah.
Dining hall. Who's around here? Caspar.
Ah, today's meal was delicious. Linhart keeps bothering me about eating too fast. Says I'm gonna choke or something.
Well, when you're busy, there's no alternative, and you definitely like that answer, don't you?
Absolutely. I knew you'd see things my way.
Uh-huh. So anyway, Linhart, what are you saying?
Professor, I feel I must speak to you about Caspar's eating habits. I've never seen the like of it. He inhales entire plates of food in mere seconds.
You know what? You're right.
Hence my mentioning it to you. Good luck with him.
Just another example of telling people what they want to hear. They like you more if you lie.
If you have a moment, I would like a word. It has been brought to my attention that certain individuals have been making advances toward Flame. Have you witnessed any such behavior?
Yeah, probably Sylvain. So actually, I think Sylvain was doing that.
If you see anything similar in the future, please inform the perpetrators of their peril.
Don't let them advance on Flame or I will kill them. Let's cooking together. I want to cook. I want to dine with my students. So, least motivation to do in Felix. I will make sure that you two share a meal with me.
I like this.
That looks appetizing.
Bonds between the three of you grew stronger, and two invited more motivation. That's really good. Professor, level up. Your supply of activity points for instructing and exploration has increased. You will now receive more monthly funds for activities. Oh, hello.
I'm sorry, but I must vent to someone, Professor. You're familiar with Manuela's slovenly behavior, yes? That woman. She borrowed a book last week and returned it with stains of unknown origin on the cover and several pages either folded or torn. Just now, she dropped a sandwich on the floor, picked it up, and kept eating. When she saw my shock, she said simply, 3-second rule. Ugh.
So Manuela would be the very busty doctor here. Which we will see in a bit, because we're gonna run into everyone, I'm pretty sure. Picked up a book that someone left behind.
Say, I hear that Lord Lenato served the King of Fargus's older brother when he was younger. Or something like that. He already had status and prestige, so why raise a rebellion? I guess it's none of my business.
I guess not, Nameless Knight. Hey, it's the gatekeeper.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Have you talked with Catherine yet? If the knights are the cream of the crop, she's the cream of the cream. Oh, and that relic of hers. I hear it's nothing short of amazing.
Okie dokie.
Professor!
I've stolen chickpeas, I guess.
Since we're heading to Castle Gaspar, that means we'll be passing through Magdrid Way. The road is well known for its beautiful surroundings. Depending on the time of year, it can be incredibly foggy, though. When it's like that, you can't enjoy the lovely scenery. Lucky for us, it shouldn't be too foggy while we're there. Not that we'll have time for sightseeing, anyway.
You're actually wrong. I know this map will have fog on it, and it's one of the only ones in the whole game that does. So saying there won't be is like wrong beyond wrong. Hey, Anna.
Hey, Professor. How's it going? Making lots of coin? I'd love to catch up, but I'm super busy right now. Working. For money. You understand.
Okay. Hilda.
Professor, your clothes are a bit dirty. I'd have expected
Your hair is
you
a
to
bit
be more
dirty.
careful, seeing as how you're a professor and all. I hate when my clothes get dirty. That's one of the many reasons I find it best to train as little as possible.
Hey.
What? I desired fresh air.
That's not like you.
True. I have a favor to ask.
There's solitude on the battlefield, but there are limits to what one can achieve alone. To be stronger, more efficient, visit the Battalion Guild. Alright? Now I finally actually have access to more of my battalions.
What do you require?
Be able to assign more of them. If I have money, which I'm out of. So...
Thank you.
Quest complete. Hey, a steel lance.
Battalions from various territories gather at the guild. There are even some that aren't affiliated with the Church of Seros. As we are allowed to hire them, you should visit the guild soon and come to your own conclusions. As they fight, battalions will lose endurance. When that happens, you can replenish their endurance by visiting the Battalion Guild in the market.
Alright. When it's reduced to 0, they will withdraw, providing no benefits until replenished at the Battalion Guild. So they run away, all the stat buffs will immediately drop from the character that they're assigned to. So don't let them get hit too much, or the endurance will drop and they'll lose all those stats. Good refresher. Knight's Hall and Stable has opened. Spotted Marianne. Hello, Dorte.
Oh, hello, Professor. Was there something you needed?
What? I mean, I'm looking at one, so I came to see the horses.
Oh, you like horses? I like them too. They're such kind creatures.
You know, Marianne, you're pretty nice. I think I'll attempt to have you as my mission assistant this month.
Yes.
See if you get along with my other students. So temporarily, Marianne's gonna join us along the ride here. Hey, Sylvain.
Professor, have you seen Felix around? I swear, as soon as you take your eyes off him, poof, he's gone.
He's at the training ground, like most of the time. He's the one that always trains with the sword, remember?
Of course he's there. Sorry for bothering you, Professor. Thanks.
Hey, best of friends.
We're going on a mission with the Knights, right? I wonder if... Oh, sorry, it's nothing. I was just wondering if someone I've been searching for might be among them.
You're looking for a knight?
Yes. Well, maybe. If he's here, he's probably a knight. Though it's also possible he became a monk.
Oh. Okay.
I've heard whispers about Lord Lonato.
They say he's a very kind and gentle lord. Why would such a kind man suddenly raise an army? Oh, Professor, you were working late last night, weren't you? You shouldn't overdo it. A ghost might rise up from the well to get you if you stay up too late. Or so I'm told.
From the well?
I have a favor to ask of you.
Those who struggle with private concerns will sometimes visit in the cathedral for guidance. If you have the time, why not offer your keen insight, Professor? Alright, sure. I'll go over there.
Okay.
Dorothea!
Professor, are you going to fight alongside the Knights of Saros?
Sure am. Whoops. Skip that.
Are you going to fight?
Let me know if you meet anyone I might be interested in, okay?
Okay. Maybe your undershirt will get blown off in the wind again. Bye!
Catherine has invited me to train with her. How much do you think I should train before I'm ready to train with someone that strong?
A lot. A lot. Especially if you're not named. There's not much hope for you.
It is a noble's duty to protect the common folk, not to endanger them by rallying armies in such a feckless and improper manner. Abuse of that kind is no better than slavery. A proper noble must guard the people from such a fate, wouldn't you say?
I agree, bowl cut man.
Precisely why true nobility is well respected.
No, it's not. Hey, to-do.
His Highness is strong, but on the front lines, anything can happen. Losing him would be devastating for Fargus. I hope the Church understands that.
It's okay. It's game over if I die or if Dimitri dies. So he's one of the not killable characters.
Let's see. Doubtless, there are times when one must take up their blade, even if there's no chance of winning. But this, it's downright senseless. Lord Lenato knows better. If he had enough allies to back his rebellion, it would be a different matter.
Allies?
My apologies. I was just thinking aloud. This whole situation is a bit too strange for my liking. Even with the necessary preparations in place, there is always a chance that something unexpected will occur. Please be ready for anything, Professor.
So that is weird that a really kind, notable, noble man in this society is raising an army, and no one seems to know why, even the people that know him.
Will you do me a favor?
Hey, Professor, have you heard of Abyss? I don't know what it is, but ever since I heard the name, I've been curious about it. If you don't mind, could you do a little investigating? I've been there already. It's where you got some of your, fellow students. That is the DLC area. But, let's go... Whoop! Win the good guy, go bad guy? Like 12 chapters later. Though I'm not telling you who.
Abyss? You're interested in that place, are you?
Yep.
Ancient sprawling remains deep below Garrick Mach. That's Abyss. Some folks have made their home there. Obviously, they all have their reasons and tales to tell. But only the most enterprising merchant would venture near it. My advice, avoid going there yourself.
And go back to Dimitri.
Let's see. Thanks for your help.
Okay, good for you. Abyss is a dangerous area below Garrick Mach that folks tend to avoid. I can't believe such a place has existed right under our noses. This might have an effect on public order beyond Garrick Mach too. This mission should have been placed earlier because I had access to Abyss last month. And that would be right here, where the DLC characters are, so we'll go and say hi to them before moving on to the rest of the monastery. And I don't think anyone's specifically, or at least most of the main characters in the game aren't specifically evil, they're just on different sides.
Hey you, you're from up top, right? What business do you have here? Wait a minute. Ah, got it. You're that new professor, aren't you? I suppose that means I have to let you pass. I guess, welcome to Abyss.
Yuri.
Can't say I'm surprised about Lord Lenato launching a rebellion. The writing was on the wall. If anything, it's more surprising it didn't happen sooner.
You seem to know a lot about this.
Lord Lenato answers to Count Rowe of Fargus, the man who adopted me. That's how I got into the academy. I'm not in contact with the Count anymore, but that's how I know so much. Gaspar territory smacks of war. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out.
Alrighty then. A little extra insight on the Lord Lenato. Constance.
Professor, do you have some need of me? I assure you, I am busier than I may seem. You would argue the point? Do you claim to have a view inside my mind?
I can't read your mind, Constance.
Yes, I thought not. I'm doing strenuous mental exercises. My magical theories require rigorous fine-tuning. I shall never finish this task if I am not left to my own devices. Run along now. I have a small request.
You've heard of Tell of the Secret Roster, yes? It contains sensitive information about everyone that isn't available elsewhere, unless it's a precious document that was stolen. You must recover it as soon as possible. I will when I find it. Thieves took it, I guess, so that's a battle-y quest, specifically. Balthus.
Hey, pal. Haven't seen any suspicious types on the surface lately, have you? Beefy, mean-looking folks?
I have not.
Beautiful. Guess those lowlifes haven't tracked me down yet. Bounty hunters are the worst, yeah? They can't just let me be, so I have to go through the trouble of roughing them up.
Happy.
Someone's raising an army in the kingdom, I heard. Normally I wouldn't care about that kind of thing. But this army's picking a fight with the church. So as far as I'm concerned, more power to them.
You must hate the church.
Hate's a strong word. I'm just saying, they might have a good reason to rebel. Rhea and her lackeys like to pretend they're always in the right, but they're not. No one is.
Good perspective. Thank you, Happy. Oh, there's more speech bubbles. Let's see some of these little guys right here. Who are you?
Mercy, I beg you. Costas never meant to attack the church. He was tricked. They don't understand that. They'll kill me. But you can let me go. Please.
Now, if anyone forgets, Costas was from the first map that was abandoned by the Flame Emperor in that cutscene. Never heard anyone again, Thief Man.
I've got a quiet life waiting for me back home. I'll never cause trouble again, I swear. Thank you.
Whoop.
Hey you, oh, you're one of...
I already talked to him. How about you?
The thing is, despite what my appearance might suggest, I was actually born a noble. No one in my generation wore a crest, however. When the next generation proved to be flush with crests, my father and I were cast aside.
More insight into how crests work with mostly the nobility. in this world. Let's go back up top.
Thank you very much. I am grateful.
Guess Marianne's popular
Thanks so much.
this early for Blue Lions to be recruited.
I have gratitude.
Or be gifted things at least, so that that could be possible. Okay. Let's go towards the cathedral at the back here. What? Ingrid, hello.
Why does His Highness take the side of the people of Dusker? I just don't understand it. Only 4 years ago, they murdered our king and slaughtered the soldiers and knights who were with him, all of whom were innocent. Even if he can forgive them, I can't. Not ever. What they've done is against all codes of honor and ethics.
Dusker would be the place that Dedu is from.
Really?
Yes. Really? Lysithia.
The monastery grounds are far too spread out. Feels like it takes hours to get from one area to another. And no, that's not because I'm getting lost. I'm a fully capable, mature person who never gets lost.
Whatever you say. I think someone was lost. Hey, it's the counselor. Would you like to read a note from the advice box? Sure. Each month, people will approach the counselor with their concerns. Select responses that satisfy them, and your support points will increase. So, just like talking to them in person, I can talk to them from afar with letters. That's clearly Hilda. It's my turn to clean, but I feel like I'm under the weather. Even writing this note is a strain. I need to get someone else to do my cleaning for me. Who should I ask? Who would be the nicest person? Sedith would say do it yourself. Lawrence would say he's too noble. Mercedes likes to help everyone, so Mercedes. This note seems to be from Hilda. Hilda is satisfied with your response.
Thank you so much for your help.
Resolving other people's problems is difficult. You may be able to figure out what they're seeking if you become close enough to spend time alone with them. Two more notes. I wish to make more friends, but my brother always interferes. How can I get him to back off? He'll understand if you just explain it to him. I bet he's just worried about you. I'll try to persuade him to stop. Explain it to him. The person who submitted this note is not satisfied with your response. I've always despised the heat, even as a child. Still, one must be prepared to fight anywhere, no matter the conditions. Have you any advice for enduring the heat? Learn to enjoy it. Look for clothing and armor that breathe better is a good answer. Dimitri's satisfied. Awesome. Ash. There you are. Oh, right. It's your daddy that's raising the army.
Please, Professor, there must be some mistake. Lenato would never raise arms against the church. At least, he never said anything to me about it.
His adoptive father who got him into the academy in the first place is the one raising the army this month. Eloise.
Past here is the holy mausoleum where the saints of the Church of Seros slumber. Sorry, but only a select few members of the church are allowed entry. It's open to the public on only one day of the year for the goddess's rite of rebirth.
Good to know. That'll come into play later.
Maybe.
Lord Lenato. He used to stay at the monastery rather frequently. He was such a pious man, a true believer. Such a terrible shame. I wonder what changed him.
I see more speech bubbles further down, so let's go head down over there. Okay. Believe this is Bernadetta. Hello.
Huh? Is someone there? What do you want?
Well, can't talk anymore with her. Raphael.
Hey, Professor. Do you happen to have any food on you? I'm starving. No matter how much I eat before I train, I'm always so hungry after. My muscles must be going through a growth spurt.
Yeah, probably. Good for you.
Inspiration? This flower is one that is eating insects. Is that factual too? I am wondering who watches over the plants in Fodlan.
I would assume that's a Venus flytrap.
If the flowers within the greenhouse are removed, they will soon wilt and wither. Is that not so, Professor? I feel I can empathize with them. The flowers that thrive despite their environment, are truly inspiring, are they not?
Sure. Whatever inspires you, Flame. So now floor 2. Talk to everyone at the top floor here. The library and the people in charge.
Professor, I heard that you made battle alongside Catherine. Even among the knights, she is something special. A holy knight who is able to wield a hero's relic. Still, she can be a mite difficult.
So, learn to Catherine is difficult. Track and field.
Really?
Hey, Daddy dearest.
Castle Gaspar, eh? I've been there once before, many years ago. It was by request of the son of that family, Christoph, I think it was. I have a request.
Hey, it seems I've lost something. When you have a medikit, we look for it. Gerald drops something, search the monastery for it. Okie dokie. Hey, Manuela.
Did you hear? There's news of someone in the kingdom raising an army. The kingdom, the empire, the alliance. They do love a good war, don't they? Spilling the blood of young men and women. And for what? Just to enjoy the horror of it? Would you be so kind as to do me a favor?
It's extremely important that professors tend to their own studies as well. If you agree, I'd be more than happy to share my knowledge with you. I would like to know more knowledge.
I simply must thank you,
It's
Professor.
fun to learn like this, even as adults. How about we get others to join up as well? I'm sure they'll be elated to participate. Received carrots and cabbages. Well, I guess you want me to eat healthy, so I guess that's why. You are the physician, after all. Wooden flask. That is Daddy's missing item.
I believe this place has so many breathtaking works of art. I feel like I'm living in a museum. Each piece can teach us about styles and techniques from 1,000 years ago.
Do you like art?
Oh yes, very much. I'm from a family of merchants, so I've been able to see a lot of art.
Awesome. Good for you. Okay, Lady Rhea, hello.
Pointing a sword at the Holy Church of Seros is akin to pointing a sword at the goddess herself, meting out appropriate punishment to the sinful. It is a sacred duty with which we have been entrusted. As a member of the church yourself, I hope that you will take that to heart.
Alrighty. Don't disappoint me, she says. Elegant hair clip. Need someone to talk to back here.
All they ever do is cause trouble. We'd best purge the entire underbelly of Garreg Mach.
Wow. You just want to commit genocide, huh? Rough. People's opinions are rough. Hey, here's your flask.
Thanks for
Have some more alcohol. Alright. Activity points are spent, everyone in the monastery is talked to, moving on. This will end today's free time. Do you want to proceed? Absolutely. Okay, I have 4 students I can teach today. So it'll be Gadu, Felix, Mercedes, and whoever has the most reason to train right now, which would be Yuri because he's going to be a bow fighter. So we'll start with Yuri then, actually, and train his bow because it is something he will excel at in the future. Mercedes. Better increase your attack magic as well, actually. Felix, you need to have better sword training. Grounder, nice.
I can do better now.
Good job, Felix.
Of course I got it. Don't need to butter me up. Quite intriguing. Thank you.
Okay, I think I want to train your flying, actually. So I'm gonna actually back out to change your goal to do. Because you should be doing axe and flying. Because you're gonna be flying with Ingrid a lot. Okie dokie. Yeah. Let's boost your flying. Good. Alright.
Professor?
You know, jousting is a popular sport in Fargus. The ladies love a guy who can joust. Speaking of, let's polish up my riding and lance skills. You know what, Sylvain, you do have a point. I will have to agree. Excel at the cavalry class.
Here's the result.
Yeah, your flying went good. You did exactly went good. Cool. Got $500 for it. I don't know how.
I'm looking sharp, huh?
You are. Good job training archery. It's Edelgard's birthday. Would you like to buy flowers? No, she's head of the Black Eagles. I don't want to buy her flowers. Different class. Seminar, battle, rest, or explore. No one's dead yet. Someone did die, but I was given a reprieve because I had broken weapons and didn't have anything ready to go. But anyone who dies, I cannot go back for. So I gotta be very careful. And we're about to go into another battle, so... Froster retrieval... Level 9 suggested. That would be a... Hey, Riffing! Good to see ya! Welcome on in! We're gonna be watching a support between some characters before we go out to this battle, so that we can make sure that they're relationships grow more, and I don't like cap them off during battle. So let's take care of these first. Felix and Dedu, how you guys getting along?
Hold a moment, dog.
Are you speaking to me?
I don't see anyone else here, do you? You're that boar's lapdog.
Do not mock His Highness.
Spoken like a good pet. Why do you follow him with such devotion? Do you really think a man like that is worth it?
Fargus destroyed my homeland. Burned it all to the ground. Slaughtered my people.
The punishment of Dusker.
My father, my mother, my sibling, all were killed. We received no aid, no respite. Fargus murdered our dignity and torched our pride. His Highness is different. He is the only one who sees my people as human. He risked his life to...
That's what we call blind obedience. Tell me, would you give your life for him?
Yes.
And what if he commanded you to join him in a senseless massacre?
I would do it.
Even a massacre of children, or the elderly, or your own comrades?
Without hesitation. You have misunderstood me. I am the sword and shield of His Highness. Weapons do not have a will of their own.
Blind obedience. You're right. I did misunderstand. I shouldn't have called you a lapdog. You're a rabid cur. You and the Boar Prince make quite a team. Two crazed animals.
Yeesh.
I warned you not to mock His Highness. I am aware you have a history of friendship with him, but one more word.
I've said my piece. Scamper back to your master.
Okay, so not friendly. Attain support level C, and they will fight better alongside each other, despite what that conversation may have portrayed. Dedu, Ingrid. How do you guys get along?
Are you injured?
No.
Good.
I'd have cut my way through, alone, without your assistance.
My apologies.
Your apologies are empty.
Wow.
I spoke out of turn. I'm sorry, Dedu. His Highness has put his faith in you. You're a valuable comrade, no matter my feelings. The people of Dusker...
Save your breath. There were countless people like you in the capital. People who spat, threw things, insults and stones alike, whenever they pleased. Their anger was natural. I do not begrudge them.
I see.
You owe me no apology, and I will keep my distance on all other occasions. But on the field of battle, allow me to aid you. If you were to fall, His Highness would grieve.
I see. Then I will accept your help on the battlefield.
Understood.
Well, at least they've developed a professional relationship. Damn, I forgot how ruthlessly angry they are to start with Dedu. They are just not having it. Save some progress. Who isn't level 5 yet? That's what I need to check right now. Ash, Mercedes, Ingrid, Annette. And I'll have to take myself still. Alright, so let's go to battle. And I think 9 is too ambitious of a level to go for, so we'll go to the level 6 map. It's very good. I've sunk hundreds of hours into it. You should play it to discover more. I am covering the Blue Line route right now, so it's one of 4 distinct routes that split up about halfway through the game. So I picked the Blue Line routes, and led by Dimitri. That's who I'm with right now. So my professor, Mercedes, Annette, Ash, Ingrid, and Marianne, my exchange student for the month. That leaves me 6. Can only have 5 up here or down here. So my options are to split them up. I have a healer up top and a healer down below. Wait, can you heal? You can, good. You can heal at long range too, okay. And then Mariana friends, Ash and Ingrid get along. And Professor's up there. Okay, good. Everyone's ready to go. I think. Check the inventory of them. You got swords, you should have something for backup. Or a shield. That's probably good for you right now. And Ingrid has a lot of stuff. Okay. I want Ingrid to have a battalion for sure, so I'll give you Ash's battalion. Ash can have Dedue's. There we go. And I'll go to the marketplace and refresh the battalions so that they're not going to be starting off too low with them.
Come back.
All right, ready to go. Okay.
Stay focused.
Okay, you're heading here.
Here we go.
You should stay out of range here, and you will boost your attack.
Thank you.
Okay, you'll be at the crossroads. You will cover her. You will be the healer in range. Let's go. See who's alive. Oh, Ingrid. Really? Couldn't even hit him?
You fought well. I'm not setting a very good example.
But speed. Speed increase makes a terrible level up not terrible. I will take a speed level up. Okay, you're level 3. Okay, if I can chip you down to 2 health and then take you out with a net, that should boost her up a little bit. Good. Okay. Annette, use wind.
Can't afford to lose. Aw, this stinks.
Heal up.
Much needed.
It's just not my day.
I really like Mercedes' ability because she can both heal. As soon as she heals anybody else, she also heals herself. And other mages don't do that. It's a special ability, so every character has one specific ability in the far left of their stats. So like, specifically Marianne, who was my exchange student that I brought over for 1 month. Unit recovers up to 20% of the max speed at the start of each turn when adjacent to anybody with a flying or cavalry unit. So if they're a Pegasus Knight, a Wyvern Flyer, or anyone on a horse, she will heal herself just by being around that. So that's a pretty good one.
Thank you.
Now, as an exchange student, the only thing I can really do is build support with her. So it's good to have her as a healer. Because any heal I do to any of my classmates
I aim for greatness.
will build the relationship between the professor and her, and I can recruit her in the future to my class. Because she's from one of the other 2 houses. It's like, while I'm at it, might as well, yeah, definitely. She also has a crest ability, which is a magic, basically tattoo that you're born with. And hers specifically is the Crest of Lamine, which is up here. Minor Crest occasionally conserves uses of recovery magic, so even though it has a specific set number of heals and distant heals here, it has a random chance to trigger and not use up one. So like, it's another bonus for her. So she's the best healer in the game, regardless of what route you're going on. You should definitely pick her up. And she has a lot of good story elements between all the routes as well. Despite her very breathy voice that she has.
Thank goodness.
Annette, on the other hand, excels in attack magic, and any healing magic has to be done face to face. She can't heal over distances like Marianne and Mercedes can. And if I rally her, I think it'll... Nope, it doesn't. Okay, I thought that would increase my relationship with the professor too, but it does not. Where are you guys going? Why are you fleeing? Where are you going? Hey! Ingrid needs levels. Wow. That was unnerving and scary. If he landed both hits, it might have killed her. But close, you can't counter me. So let's use Cutting Gale.
What's done is done.
Nice. Level 5, I can promote you now.
A change for the better.
Let's be careful.
Experience obtained. Those little yellow and purple circles only trigger when you're online, and they give you either experience boosts, or if they're purple, they give you weapon pickups. Usually broken ones though, so you have to repair them specifically. Okay, well, I can't heal her unless I can heal Annette, so I will let Annette get hit a little bit there. And then Mercedes can heal her and we'll be all good. Let's also move Ingrid into range and keep Marianne and Ash out of range. That should be good there, and yeah, that's good for now. Okay. Some avoidant increase, so that's good. She keeps getting hit. And she keeps not hitting, so she needs to focus up or she might not make it. Especially if she doesn't level.
It's all coming together.
Okay, now I can heal you.
Yeah, thanks.
There, now you've healed 10 too. Cool. Good, good, good. Favorite out of all of them? I guess it depends on the route. And if you mean by stats or character.
Now. That worked out. A change for the better.
I'm not sure. Ash has always been a good contender. He's the archer, he's just around, he's a very nice dude. He's a commoner, so he's not a stuffy-headed noble. Ooh, this is a bad projection here. She was definitely dead if I don't do something, so gambits sometimes give you the ability to target multiple people, extinguish one of the ones that you're targeting, and rattle the rest. So 70% chance to hit. We'll hope that she gets it. Good, good, good. And that freezes everybody from moving for a turn. At least in that line. That's what this little symbol here means. Huh. I am a little concerned right now. Out of the DLC, I'd say my favorite character is Yuri. He's like the leader with tragic backstory that's a little too violent and figures stuff out along the way kind of character. And he will be my other archer alongside Ash in this run.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
Good, you dodged. You would have been super in trouble if you didn't. Yes!
Have I improved some?
Finally a good stat boost for you. Oh, yikes.
Here we go.
Okay, let's see if I can be within range. I can, good. So, kill you.
Why me?
Because I don't want you dead.
You're amazing.
Oh man. Do you have more gambit? You do! Thank goodness. If you didn't, we'd be very screwed. Here you go.
Let's turn the tables.
Cool. All y'all stay there. Whittle this guy down.
I have so far left to go.
Well, at least over here it's pretty easy. Received a rusted axe.
What's done is done.
Okay, we might lose someone.
I can't afford to lose.
Ooh. Good thing she got a critical. Uh-oh. No!
I'm sorry. I wasn't able to help.
I'm sorry too, Marianne. And I'll do that. I will hydrate. No, it's not a big loss because I didn't actually recruit her yet, but it is upsetting that she's out already. I did really want to invest some time into her. But nothing can be done about it now, so... There is if you choose as such. And there is the Divine Pulse Rewind mechanic that's automatically included either way, but I'm playing without them. So yeah, on it's classic mode that is permadeath, and casual mode that is not. But you still have difficulties on both. Do you have more gambits? You don't. Okay. I just gotta have to deal with the rest.
You weren't ready.
Good. You need another level really badly.
I will get stronger still.
Hey! That's the frog from Chrono Trigger.
You saved me.
I gave you a 1, but okay.
Well done.
Another training axe. Yes! Good dodge,
I aim
Ingrid.
for greatness.
Yes! You're dodging! I love it! It's entirely possible you won't die now. Okay, first of all, you need a kill, so here you go.
That was tough.
And you can double him, and he only can do 1 damage. Excellent. Ingrid's nice because she's resistant to magic. Just as a general rule, when she levels up, she tends to get more resistance as time goes on. Which makes her an excellent Pegasus Knight.
Thank you. Too slow.
It's all you, Ingrid. Take him out.
I did what I had to.
Yes! There's the last level I needed. Good.
I will get stronger still.
So I can get everyone into a class now instead of just being commoners that miss everything. Bark, 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 bark. So we are on the 22nd, which means we're about to do some more training, and then we do our battle against Lord Lenato. Ash's foster dad. Right. Didn't motivate because I went to battle. So I gotta choose people with decent bars, which is only the yellow ones now. Ugh. Putting it into weapon training is the most important thing to do right now, though. They need to be able to hit, they need to be able to dodge. So it's gotta be the focus. You want to be on a horse, but you want to be magic wielder.
Oh, come on. Really?
Ouch. That's a little harsh. What'd I ever do to you?
Okay. Chill.
Not bad.
See, you did it. You're fine.
Guess I learned a thing or two.
You did great, Happy. Good for you.
You're laying it on a little thick.
I know, but you need it.
Would you...
Yes. Lance.
I appreciate your guidance.
Damn right you do.
I'm getting the hang of this.
I guess Ash, because I want his bow to be better. Alright, that's it. When you start out, you don't get to train or do as many things at once. Focus on lance and flying to excel as a Pegasus Knight. Yes. It's like, you're like the one character that's really good at that. Pegasus Knights are great against magic wielders because they're resistant by nature.
Here is the result.
Good Skywatch. You did well. Alrighty. Let's certify the rest of the class. Ingrid, you are a soldier for your lance usage.
I must.
Annette is a mage for her attack magic.
It's all thanks to hard work.
Mercedes is my healing monk.
I'm so glad I passed.
Here's my archer. Sylvain's there. Oh, Ash isn't strong enough to get his archery yet, so he'll have to stay back until he gets level 5. Because he's just too squishy. Okay, so I have the chance to either go to battle or do a seminar to train them up. I would do the seminar, but since I have one battle before the main battle of the month, I should train up Ash. And I'll go on this smaller map so he can get there. Have more chances. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna take a look on what Ash has right now. Bow and Gambit, that's all you got. And he's got the chalice, he's gonna have the Chalice of Beginnings. That is DLC, but lets you return attack because I don't want him to die. So that's what is happening. It's something that's normally assigned to Constance. Higher battalion for Ash. Do you want avoidance? Avoidance, please. You know what? That's probably good.
Is that the one?
I can't repair with the blacksmith yet. I'm gonna get another couple bows for you because you need some.
Come back soon.
I didn't do that. Hang on. There it is. Steel, steel, iron, and a mini bow.
Is that the one? Thanks a bunch.
There. Now you actually have
Come
things.
back soon. Well,
And I should also sell some things that I don't need, like bullions, because it's just pure money.
thanks a bunch.
Antitoxin, because there's no poison yet. Chest key, because I don't really care about getting too many of the chest items.
Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch.
It is the one. Stop talking, Hannah. Okay, need to open a spot on Ash. So I'll put that away. And then I need to give him some vulneraries so that he can heal himself. And have some 5s to go with him. So Mercedes, you'll go to heal. To do with shield, I'll be there to absorb some experience gain, or give out some experience gain. And they need to train Yuri and the bow more, so that'll be 5, and that's good enough to go and support each other out there. So let's go from here. Okay, start off with my shield. Stick my archer behind the shield, have my healers tucked in the corner.
Stay focused.
Move my professor up to experience defense boost. Experience boost, I mean, and have my archer follow up behind. So there's everybody all in a row. Good. You'll get a much needed kill.
Face it, I'm better than you.
Training axe, smash. Got a critical hit chance. See if he gets it. Nope. But it's a good hit.
I suppose I've improved.
A very good level up by do. Heal to do from afar.
Thank you.
The crest of Lamine, making sure that I didn't even lose any. And I can take out one of these guys with Ash.
That was tough. I'm starting to
Okay.
see results.
Not too bad.
Should I have held back? I'm not setting a very good example.
Crap. Level up. Yeah.
I must steel myself.
You need another boost to your bow skill.
Much needed.
Okay. Right, no close counter yet. Gotta remember that one. It's also why I gave it to Ash, because he can actually shoot back if he's shot at.
Am I starting to master this?
Okay, finally learned close counters, so I don't actually need to give him that chalice anymore that I gave him at the beginning of this map. Which means, actually, that I should trade. Yuri should have it now.
That is that.
Nice. We'll keep Mercedes back, heal up whoever's weakest, and move on to round next. Yeah, Absent, it's good that you'll be able to have good internet in your new place.
My lessons are complete.
HP boost. Okay, heal up Ash.
Thanks so much. Doing my part. So this is how it's done.
Okay, everybody's growing closer. Everyone's in good shape. Professor's targeted, but also most leveled character. No damage, gotta love that one. Definitely a shield. Getting a little dicey already. Do I have... Nope. Okay. Okay, avoidance boost.
Stay focused. Should I have held back?
The glory of progress.
Okay. Yikes, wasn't expecting that.
Let's keep our guard up.
For sure. I gotta just choose wait for the duels. gonna lose health.
Had to be done.
Doesn't lose it if he has his shield ability activated. Except with fire. That's not good. No! No!
I failed. Apologies, Your Highness. I could not fulfill my duty.
That is not good. At all. I lost my bodyguard.
You're a big help.
Okay. Curve shot.
As expected.
So I've officially lost the do. Hopefully I lose no one else.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, you missed it. He got killed.
I feel more powerful.
The do is dead.
Be mindful.
Or at least removed from my party, still kind of in the background defending Dimitri for now.
You fought well.
Okay, yours doing okay.
Luck is on my side.
And honestly, since the do is already out, I need to go get the other DLC character, the only one I didn't pick up, Balthus, who's down in Abyss. He'd be a suitable replacement.
Well done.
Don't die, Ash. I can't have two characters die on one map.
I'm starting to see results.
Predictable.
Luckily, they're targeting the person with the... Dedu said do. Sure, why not?
Thanks so much.
As expected.
Hmm.
That's how it goes.
70%. Hope it gets him.
Out of my way.
Alright. We've returned from battle with 4 characters and not 5. Big mistake to not bring everyone when I just wanted to level characters. Should have just brought everyone and kept them back instead, so that they were there to shield him in case things went wrong, which they just did. So, Hua. So the duo will be part of the story for now, and that'll catch up with him eventually. Okay, Ash. But yeah, he's like stripped right from my record. I don't even have him in my... He's not here anymore. He's not on my roster. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, sad. I only get to see how these 3 are getting along. They have something to say to each other. Let's have Ash and Mercedes have their first conversation.
Oh no, this isn't right. Now what am I supposed to do?
What's the matter, Mercedes?
I accidentally made this food much sweeter than I wanted.
Let me taste it. Yeah, a little sweet. What if we try adding a few spices?
Huh? This is delicious! You're an amazing cook, Ash!
My dad used to own a restaurant. I helped out a lot around the kitchen, even as a little kid.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility to take on at an early age. No wonder you always work so hard. I might learn something if I watch you cook.
Well, no promises. I just have a little bit of experience, that's all. But look at you, you're great at baking cakes.
It's true that I'm quite good at baking, but I'm not the best when it comes to seasoning.
Except cakes.
Maybe it's because I don't like spicy food? It's tough to make food taste good when you don't enjoy it. I just had an idea. If the reason I can't cook spicy food is because I don't like it, then all I have to do is eat some spicy food. If I learn to like it, then I'll be better at making it, right?
I don't know, maybe. What makes you say that?
No, none of that matters. Once I've made a decision, I have to go with it. I'll make something spicy right away.
Oh, this won't end well. If I leave her to it, she'll make an even bigger mess.
Hey, Ash, which seasonings should I use? These ones?
Hold on, Mercedes. Let me show you. That one goes best with meat, but for stir-fry, what you really want is this.
Nice. Cooking bonding. How about Ingrid? How you guys get along?
Hi there, Ash. Here to do some reading as well, I take it? Ash?
Huh, Ingrid! You gave me a start. How long have you been standing there?
Not too long. Apologies for startling you. Must be a great book for you to be so deeply engrossed in it. What has you so captivated?
Oh, it's quite an old book. One of the really old legends of Fargus.
Aha! It must be the Sword of Kaifon then, yes?
Oh, so you know it.
Oh yes. I know it quite well. I read it often as a child. In fact, I read it so much that my personal copy fell apart. I brought it everywhere with me. I adore that book. The tale of the warrior Kaifon, whose devotion and loyalty enabled his best friend Luke to become king. He went to great lengths to see things through.
Exactly. I love the image of him charging forward into the fray.
Also historical.
Ready to take on any obstacle in the name of his king.
Indeed, he was the very picture of the perfect knight. In my opinion, the best chapter is right around the middle of the book.
Ah, The part about the War of the Eagle and Lion? That's my favorite part! In a flash, Kaifon's sword flew from its scabbard. The knight parried the assassin's blade mere inches from the spine of his king.
Kaifon's blade hummed like the wind, slashing the enemy's throat. In mere moments, their forces lay vanquished, decimated by his mighty blows. I can recite the entirety of it if you like. I never grow weary of that tale, the pinnacle of knighthood, with all its struggles and glory.
I know just what you mean. I never get tired of it. Some people laugh at me for reading these old tales, but I'll never outgrow them. I'm glad to find someone who shares my enthusiasm.
I'm glad of it as well.
They love chivalry and knighthood.
Tell me, what other books do you enjoy, Ash?
Well, the first one I ever read was Lug and the Maiden of Wind.
You have fantastic taste. That story is another favorite. The final chapter makes me tear up every time.
I know. When I first read it, I just couldn't get that ending out of my head.
It seems we have much in common. I look forward to chatting again sometime.
I'd love to. Yes, let's.
Well, they're doing a lot better. Supporting each other, it seems. How about Mercedes and Ingrid?
Nightfall? Already? Suppose I'd better wrap up.
Good work with your training today, Ingrid. Here's something to wipe up the sweat.
Whoa, Mercedes. Hi. Hello. How long have you been... Thank you.
You're very welcome. I've been here since you started.
Not long. Huh. Well, my apologies for not having noticed you. I get so caught up in training, you know. But why are you here? I can't imagine it was too terribly interesting watching me.
I disagree. I just couldn't help but admire your training technique. I have to say, you are very impressive. I'm nowhere near as graceful as you.
Graceful? I wouldn't say that, but thank you. If I'm to be honest, I'm the one who admires you.
Goodness me? How so?
You're always so put together. You hold yourself with such poise and have such a keen eye for fashion. I mean, even the handkerchief you handed me smells like... lavender, is it? It's just lovely.
That perfume is a favorite of mine.
Even the fact that you thought to put perfume on your handkerchief is delightfully foreign to me.
I'll gladly share some with you. You're welcome to come visit my room whenever you'd like. We can have tea and chat. How does that sound?
That sounds really nice. Yes. Sipping tea and having a chat. It's unlike me, but it sounds lovely.
From now on, we'll meet up whenever we have time. We can go right now if you're free.
Oh, no need to trouble yourself and rearrange things for me.
It's no trouble at all. You'll never know if you're the type who enjoys chatting over tea if you never try.
Okay. They're gonna have tea. They're getting along swimmingly. Not much I can do yet. And I only have the mission and the marketplace available to me, so everyone's inventory is mostly full. You get the steel one. And I should give everyone vulneraries. So they can heal before something disastrous happens again. Also, why do you have a bow? You shouldn't. And do you have close counter yet, Yuri? You do not, so you are keeping the chalice of beginnings. Alrighty. Oh, I'll save there as well. And we'll go to the mission for Lord Lonato, what we've been basically teased by everybody the whole way through here. At least this month, anyway. Madrid Ambush. Chapter 3.
I have to say, it's a real honor to accompany such a brave and distinguished knight. None other than Catherine, wielder of Thunderbrand.
Thunderbrand?
You mean you don't know? My weapon is called Thunderbrand. It's one of the hero's relics. A long, long time ago, the goddess bestowed divine
Yes, I've beat it
weapons
like
upon
50
10
times.
heroes, which were passed down to their
I beat it a
descendants.
lot.
It's an honor
But
to
I've
wield,
also been
but
playing
I'm
it for
afraid there
so
won't be any
many
chance for that
rounds
today. Our
around.
mission is to help clean up the aftermath, not to fight.
Why would Lenato incite such a reckless rebellion?
That this is
You
the
should
first
know
time I'm
more
hearing
about
the
that than any
story
of us
since at least
Well, I
20-something
don't.
runs ago.
Lenato never mentioned anything of the like to me.
He probably didn't want
It
you
has a
getting caught up in his
replayability
own
because you can
personal
assign
vendetta.
anyone to do anything. Like you can, if you really want to force it, you can train really heavy hitting characters to be magic users and vice versa. Not going to be particularly effective, but you can still do it. Is Ash related to Lord? I did know that. So what vendetta?
How much do you know about the tragedy of Dusker, Professor?
How much do you know about Tragedy of Dusker? I've heard of it. It's what Dedue's
It's when the king of the Holy
people
Kingdom of
were
Fargus
killed.
was murdered by the people of Dusker. It happened about 4 years ago.
It's okay, Catherine. Please, go on.
Right. Well, Lord Lenato's son, Kristoff, was accused of being involved in that whole awful affair. He was executed by the church.
The church executes criminals?
Speaking from the church's perspective, we simply passed judgment according to our doctrine in place of the kingdom, which was in complete chaos. Whatever the truth behind that incident may be, Lord Lenato has harbored resentment toward the church ever since. Well, to be more specific, his grudge isn't only against the church. It's also against the one who turned Kristoff over to them.
Report! The enemy is approaching.
Which would be
They
you.
can't be avoided. Their numbers are far greater than we predicted. They used the fog to slip past the Knight's perimeter.
It looks like our mission just changed, Professor. Everyone, prepare for battle!
Okay.
Thanks a million.
Bobbing and weaving is the aim of the game now. Make sure no one else is dead.
Thank you.
Or at least removed. Okay, who's staying behind? Who is my weakest link here? What's your thing? Grants strength and magic +3 when indoors. So you're powerful when the clouds are out as well, which means you're coming. I need my archers. I need my healer. Okay, whose defense and resistance is the worst? Three, that's bad resistance. 4. So either Felix or Sylvain has to stay behind. And I have Sylvain equipped with Vulnerary, so Felix, you're staying behind. Decided. Okay, let's work on placement. Archers in the back. Healers in the middle. Attack magic on the outskirts. And I'll swap Ingrid with Constance. There, I think that was good.
With this fog, it's impossible to tell where the enemy might be, or how many of them there are. The enemy could be trying to surround us, but they shouldn't have enough soldiers to form a tight circle. Take down anyone who breaks through the fog, and let's push through!
shouting from within the fog. It seems the knights are already battling.
Proceed with caution. Wait for them to enter your field of view.
On battlefields with thick fog, your units will only be able to see enemies that are close by. Proceed with caution. Units' movement will be cut short if they're interrupted by an enemy. Earn a reward if your allies do not suffer heavy losses. Do not let your allies flee. So anyone with green, I don't let them die. That's all bonus points for me.
Stay focused.
And since the professor's level 8, I don't have a problem sending them up right away, but I gotta make sure everyone else is in formation of some kind.
Sally forward.
And are supporting each other, because they always do better with people they're actually friends with as well.
Ready.
So Ingrid and Sylvain out front.
Here goes.
Annette right here.
I owe you one. Sure thing.
Yuri between Happy and Ingrid.
I'll cut through.
Dimitri supports with Happy.
Here we go.
Mercedes with Constance, and Ash with Mercedes. That should be good. And I had to do a lot of runs at this game before I finally wanted to do a classic run. And this is one of my first ones where I'm actually committing to the classic bit where the characters don't come back. To see how far I can actually get while applying that. I don't like how low visibility this map is though. Just move everybody up one square.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Anything get rid of the fog at all, or somebody can clear the fog? There is an item called a torch that can be bought to dispel fog for a distance, but since this is the only map that's mandatory that has fog, and there's only 2 other ones that are not,
So many others into this.
it's not really worth even the waste of money to do it. So I usually don't typically bother. But there is an item to clear the fog, yes. And also discovering them and having people spread out like that is a good way as well.
You're a big help.
Okay, let's boost Sylvain with a net. That's always a good move. Byleth over there.
Thank you.
Just making my way downtown, walking through the fog. Didn't even see where that came from. Vanessa Carlton. Gotta say, I have no idea who that is. And that's probably upsetting, but I don't know. Oh! That makes sense. I never remember who the artist is of songs such as this. Just know the songs playing in my head a million times from the radio. Nice. Javelin's a good move. Yeah. Okay, Happy joined Dimitri, Ash, up by Ingrid. Whoops, up by Ingrid. I'll throw her up there too. Magic boost, that doesn't help anybody, but Yuri in constant support, so here you go. Be friendly. Move you up. And they're targeting the allies, so who cares about them?
I won't let you anywhere near Lord Lonato.
All right. I need to clear this fog. Which there is a specific enemy, that one, that controls the fog, the Dark Mage. Good, good, good. Italian stat boost. Okay, gotta take you down. The fog is lifting as a result of the Dark Mage being defeated. Seems that the fog was being caused by magic.
It's you. Thunderstrike Cassandra. It was your wretched zealotry that killed my son!
The only name I answer to is Catherine. Prepare to taste the blade of one who serves the goddess. Now you face a knight of Theros!
It's a little like Persona just for that specific map and circumstance, yes.
The fog is cleared. There's nothing left to hide you or the filthy Central Church from the judgment of the goddess.
Nice. 6-part level up is fantastic. Constance, fire.
I owe you one.
Just set everybody up here. Ash.
I needed them.
Okay. Oh, there's some back there in the woods I didn't see before either. They'd be chasing me too. Good, you can select individual attack ranges as well. Did forget that, and that is helpful.
Lord Lenato doesn't deserve such sadness and anger. Now it's your turn to suffer.
I don't think so. Damn, she got a good arm.
Thank you.
Yay! And that level up wasn't garbage.
Lord Lenato, please don't die. I am sorry. But did you really think you would get away with this?
Mini bow. Good, good. Okay. I should. You know, I'm gonna bring Squelch Professor back. For the record, any lag that you're experiencing is actually the game doing it because the character models in the background. They're not at 100% there all the time. Good. You needed that boost, Yuri. Happy, you need to get in on this. Let's use some of your dark magic.
Thank you. Thanks.
Who has the worst Yuri?
Thanks.
You're welcome, Yuri.
You can rely on me.
Good, because I'm about to for everything. She is a critical hit master, FYI. That we have the ability to get later.
You're a big help.
Okay. Let's just move everybody up a little bit here.
Much appreciated.
Wow, thanks.
cover my magic users.
Unexpected.
Who doesn't have levels? You go. Support behind him increases damage. Next to him. Next to him. Go here. Up here. Ingrid.
Thanks.
Constance. And Happy. Cool. Everyone's up in the right spot again.
It's time.
Meh. It's a good battalion when they don't hit. Ouch. A little worse when they do hit. The problem is the enemies have practically every ability you have. And it hits the students behind the other students as well, unfortunately. Okay, who deserves it? Oh crap, I can only use regular heal now. You're getting it then, Ash.
Thanks so much.
Some good hits. Fire's your deal, I guess, Constance. Tempest. Excellent. Big damage hit.
Nice try.
And I can't move him. Let's put Dimitri up front.
Be mindful.
Whoops. We're almost to Lonato. Okay, everyone get up there.
Stay focused.
You. I will be the one to kill you. No other.
You have lost all sense of justice. You want to fight me? So be it. I'll send you to meet your goddess.
Well done.
Okay,
Thanks.
let's put you up here. And you back here. Ash, Ingrid, Constance. Rally with her.
So helpful.
Okay, I should be able to surround him now.
You have been deceived by that witch. I will show you the truth.
Magic's probably a best bet with this scenario. So let's bring Happy. And she can use Banshee.
Not a chance.
Not good. Not good. Can I hit you? I can hit you. Okay. How about this?
Stand down, Ash. I must destroy these evildoers by any means necessary.
Please surrender, Lenato. Whatever your reasons for doing this, we can still talk it out.
Rhea is an infidel who has deceived the people and desecrated the goddess. We have virtue and the goddess herself on our side.
Even if all that's true, dragging the townsfolk into it like this isn't right.
Enough. If that is how you feel, prepare yourself. I'm putting an end to this.
Your god and enemy on our side. That's Ash's adoptive father. That's fucked. Just like, you're not my son. Die.
Thank you.
There's a lot of sad stuff like that in this game for sure. I think at least a third of the characters have been tortured in some way. Ouchies. Can I back you out? I might lose Constance. Let's hope I don't. Let's hope I don't. No!
But I'm supposed to be better than this.
Okay, well I guess we don't get to learn about you anymore.
Not a chance.
That's sad. That's the bipolar character that I sort of relate to, even though she's so pompous.
That vile woman. Christoph, forgive me.
Oops, I made Ash do it.
Lenato,
I never thought I'd see Lenato meet this fate. Well done, everyone. Let's gather our troops and go.
Your allies did not suffer heavy losses, so you earned a reward from the Church of Seros. Goddess icon. Wah! Constance died though, and I like her despite she's half likable. She's I do like her. I'm actually sad. I didn't really care much about Dedu, but I do care about Constance.
Why did this happen?
Everyone's grieving.
Renato was always such a kind man.
Grieving music now.
Everyone in the village was so nice to me, and I killed them. I killed them all. I had to. I know I had to. I know that, but still, what does that make me?
Please, don't beat yourself up, Ash. We did what had to be done.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be bothering you. I'm going to check on the town. I hope my brother and sister are okay.
That was my first time killing civilians too. Those who I'm sworn to protect.
Both these responses suck.
Are you insane? Those weren't knights or soldiers, but fathers and sons. We shouldn't have killed them. We should have found another way. I'm sorry. It's not fair for me to blame you for the circumstance. I know that if we hadn't done what we did, even more civilian lives would have been lost. At least my mind understands that, but my heart, Professor, those in power, no matter the era, always claim they fight for a just cause, that they take life to protect it. But is it truly okay to take any life you please? All in service of some implacable just cause? Lord Lonato didn't take up arms out of a lust for power. He simply believed his cause to be just. Who's to say it wasn't? Maybe we didn't have to cut him down like that. Maybe we could have reached a mutual understanding, found a path of peace. I have to believe that. Perhaps the notion sounds laughable to you. Mere lip service to naive ideals. But I can't believe otherwise.
Sorry to intrude, but this incident may be more serious than anticipated. I found this on Lord Lonato. It's a note that mentions a plan to assassinate Lady Rhea. We can't tell who sent it, so the source is suspect, but the content is too disturbing to ignore. We must report this to Lady Rhea right away. I hope that it's nothing.
I am glad to see that you have returned safely. The goddess is gracious with her divine protection. But it was not only her divine protection that shielded you, was it? You are just as skilled as I had hoped.
I have much to learn, because 2 of my students have died.
There is no need for modesty.
Sure there is.
I heard some of the students were hesitant about fighting militia. However, we must punish any sinner who may inflict harm upon believers. Even I pray the students learned a valuable lesson about the fate that awaits all who are foolish enough to point their blades towards the heavens.
Our real concern is what Catherine reported. The secret message that was in Lord Lonato's possession. It contained a deplorable plot to target the Archbishop on the day of the goddess's rite of rebirth. The plan seems unrealistic at best. But a threat is a threat. We must maintain constant vigilance. To that end, I would like for you and your students to help with security on the day of the ritual.
Won't that endanger the students?
Even if they encounter an enemy whom they cannot best, they should be fine, so long as they have you on their side.
The rite of rebirth is of paramount importance.
It's a lot of faith to just put in someone.
And its believers unite to pray for the return of the goddess. The Archbishop and I will be confined to the Goddess Tower once the ritual begins. Of course, the knights will be on high alert as well.
To have.
But there aren't enough of them to keep watch on every corner of the monastery. It is far from ideal to be forced to mobilize students, but the gravity of this situation requires that we all bend to avoid breaking.
While there is no need to fear for my safety, we cannot turn a blind eye to those who would blaspheme so heinously.
With any luck, this will all be for naught. Still, be on your guard.
Right on. I guess. We're bodyguards for Rhea. For this next chapter.
Part 1. White clouds. Blue sea.
Bo-ba-da-bo-bo. So actually, since that was such a major crux point in the story and the month, I'm gonna actually be leaving it. Well, hang on a second. I like Caspar. I'll give him flowers first of all. We're gonna stop, but I'm gonna go through a couple more of these instances that are triggering right now. So Annette would like to speak. Yes. Let's find out more about Annette.
Hello, Professor. Do you have a moment?
Of course. What do you need?
Well, I have this book of battle tactics that I borrowed from one of the knights. There's one part that I just don't understand. Do you think you could explain it to me?
Duh, I'm a professor. Of course I can.
Great. Thank you so much. It's about this diagram here. I don't get why the knights are grouping up in that forest there. I just can't see the advantage to a formation like that.
Avoidance rates?
Yay, I finally get it! You really are a great teacher.
I'm always happy to help, and you're the one who did the work.
No way. I couldn't have done it without you. I just love learning new things.
I know,
That's
you'll
why I
literally
came to
learn
the
everything.
Officers Academy. I want to learn magic, battle tactics, martial arts, and, well, all kinds of stuff. I'm learning more now than I have in my whole entire life. Speaking of, I'd better go visit the library for some research before magic practice, which is just before sword training.
Don't train in swords, Annette. You're not good in swords.
That's just not possible. I always find it's more tiring to laze around doing nothing. I've never been any good at that. I have to have something to do. Like, on my days off, I need to get up early and take care of the cleaning first, or I just can't relax. Know what I mean?
No.
But a day without accomplishments is completely wasted.
Not true.
Not to mention... Oh, wait. Oh, no. I was supposed to be on cooking duty today. Ugh, I completely forgot.
Because that happens.
Sorry, Professor, but I have to run.
You take on
Thanks
many
again for your
things.
help. Who put this stupid barrel here?
I don't remember that. That's great. Ran right, clumsy. Ran right over a barrel. Who we got? Who wants to talk?
So, our task for this moon is to patrol and
Hi,
guard the
Dedu.
monastery to help put a stop to that assassination plot. The knights will certainly have their hands full protecting Lady Rhea, and perhaps our enemy is counting on that.
I agree, Dimitri.
Please, elaborate.
Why would Lord Lenato be carrying around a secret note with an assassination plot written on it? Isn't it possible he hoped to monopolize everyone's attention?
He
with
stays
this
for the
alleged
whole
plot
of part 1 because he
in order to
has many
distract
voice
from his true
dialogue. But he's not
Maybe they're after the
selectable
treasure
anymore.
vault. There's also
And
lots
will
of
not
that
show
stuff
up in
the
part 2.
library and Professor Hanneman's quarters.
True. The monastery undoubtedly houses many weapons that rival even the hero's relics.
Whatever their aim, we can't allow any harm to come to the ladies of the monastery. I mean, what would I do with my spare time?
You mean to say we should search the monastery, try to find what the enemy is truly after?
Yes. And we should be prepared to fight them as well, should it come to that. I wouldn't mind getting in some training, just in case.
A secret meeting, Professor?
Hey, it's Shamir.
We haven't been introduced. I am Shamir.
Shamir is one of the Knights of Saros, and this young man here is...
I work for Lady Rhea, and I'm Shamir's apprentice. Oh, the name's Cyril.
Shamir's apprentice?
Yep, she's teaching me about the bow and the sword and all kinds of stuff. I've got to protect Lady Rhea, so that's why I've got to learn all I can from Shamir.
Cyril adores Rhea. That aside, if you need anything, ask.
Hey, look, replacements. They're optional, but I think I'll need their help. Okay, so we are on month 7. The end of the month would be the Goddess of Right Rebirth, and we will get to that next time. So let me just find someone to raid out, and we'll end stream here. Ba-ba-ba-bo. Okay, who can we raid? We're gonna raid Muzzle, as we usually do, because he's playing Mario World, Kaizo runs, and doing some insane, impressive stuff. So, it looks like he's taking a break right now, so wait a minute and say hi when he gets back. That'll be great. So I'll start the raid, and I'll see you next time. Thank you all for coming. I have links to my VODs on YouTube on my About section, and vice versa, so you can travel between the two should you feel the want to. Thank you for coming, Riffing. See you later as well. And I'll start the raid now. No problem, everybody. Thank you for showing up.